of lessons on same-sex relationships in primary schools. From next year, it will be compulsory for pupils as young as 4 to be taught about gay relationships.
The government plans have already caused protests in Birmingham, resulting in 5 schools cancelling the lessons. Well, Rahila Barno from the BBC's Asian Network reports.
Pupils as young as 4 could be given compulsory lessons on same-sex relationships. And that's worrying for many Muslim parents who say the subject of homosexuality is provocative to Islam. Naseem Ashraf set up a WhatsApp group for Muslim parents, which has about 300 members, and he's raised their concerns with Oldham Council.
If the schools are not going to come on board, if the local authority is not going to come on board, it's not something we're going to be promoting. We're not going to be saying to them that pull your children out, but I can see that happening. I can see this leading to riots.
Protests against the lessons by Muslim groups began in Birmingham in January. So far, 5 schools have cancelled the lessons. In a statement, Oldham Council told us it's aware of people's worries and has been working with parents and schools and will continue to do so to allay these concerns. Dozens of meetings about the relationships and sex education law, which comes into effect from September 2020, have been held in various mosques and community centres across the country. One of the largest, of between 300 and 400 Muslim parents, was held here at the British Muslim Heritage Centre in Manchester in February. But a gay Muslim group says it's disappointed and says aspects of Islamic culture are homophobic.
It's been really disheartening because you forget how insidious this sort of view is in the community until it comes to the fore. And we often look to liberal Muslims who don't believe that homosexuality is a sin or that children shouldn't be taught these things, but they are often very quiet. And so we're having to speak the loudest to combat the very loud voices that say opposite things.
The government told us it wants to teach the pupils the building blocks needed for positive and safe relationships of all kinds, and that subjects will be taught in an age-appropriate way.
All the guidance, there's a key principle in all of the guidance, which is that everything that schools do will be age-appropriate. So they will talk to children about relationships in language that they can understand at a level that's right for them and that they're ready for.
Schools now have the difficult job of coming up with a way of teaching gay relationships in line with the views of the parents, a child's faith and culture, and that's not going to be easy. Rahila Barno, BBC Northwest Tonight, Oldham.
Well, the Imam Asad Zaman teaches in mosques here in the Northwest, and I asked him why the new syllabus seems to be a problem for some.
I think the issue is really, is the school, the particular school we're talking about, any school, are they actually consulting parents before the implementation of the syllabus, or are they imposing it on students against the will of the parents? That really is the issue. So if the school does follow the directives of the government, which says very clearly that parental involvement in the construction and the implementation of the syllabus is vital, then I don't really see why there should be a problem.
Can you understand why some parents are unhappy?
A lot of parents are unhappy because they think this is proselytizing of the gay and lesbian agenda within the schools. And so long as the school doesn't do that and presents the issue of diversity and equality in the manner that the government is proposing, which is
to reflect society.
Which is to reflect society, but not to promote a particular agenda, then I don't see there being a serious problem here.
One of the parents that we spoke to talks about there being riots if this goes through, but from everything you've just said to me, that seems a little bit incendiary and perhaps a little unnecessary.
I think the worst thing that will happen if the school does not listen to the concerns of parents is some parents will simply homeschool their children. The idea of riots, I think, is perhaps a little over the top.
So what would be your message to the Muslim parents that we've spoken to who are very concerned and who are talking about perhaps children having to be taken out of school?
We are intelligent people, we are civilised people, and the government's directives are not as draconian as some people seem to think they are. If they were to actually read those directives, which state very clearly that the beliefs and values of the parents must be taken into account in the implementation of this syllabus.
Imam Asad Zaman, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Now, they say that variety is the spice of life. One man got plenty of it at work today. There he is, Prince